Morning, everybody. It's your spiritual big brother. Thanks for being here. This one, I want to talk about gratitude. And I want to be very specific about it, okay? I have been a guy that really thought that I understood gratitude for a long time. And, when you read the definition and you kind of try to apply that and understand it, and you hear kind of a couple of people's interpretations of that, I don't think you get the full picture of it. And just recently, I got the full picture of it. So I kind of want to explain it to you guys in just a way that allows you guys to kind of see it a little differently, to get the real depth in gratitude. The ones that I think some of us maybe be lacking, or that we kind of think that we really understand it, but I don't think we do. And I thought I did. And I mean, it's something that I practice. It's something that I aspire to be, because it's more of a state of being. It's not just an understanding. It's something you kind of want to be, if that makes sense. So let me kind of go into it with you guys. We'll just jump right into it. I don't have any script or anything like that. So this is going to be a little bit raw, of course. I'm just going to be kind of sharing some of the ideas and such. So what I think gratitude is, without going into the details, and then I'll open it up, we'll talk about it a little bit more in open exploration. But gratitude, in kind of my way, is like really appreciating everything that you have. And I think that you'll find that definition to be true if you asked a lot of people. I think that that's ultimately what a lot of people are trying to say or want to say. And it's a very, very simplified way of seeing it, in my opinion, from how I understand it now. We're talking decades. I'm not just talking like, I flipped it around over the last year or so. Even that would be probably more than what I think a lot of people would give it. But I'm talking like decades of really figuring this out, applying it, and thinking that I had it right for many decades. So I would say that that's a very good definition. But I think it's incomplete, and I don't think it paints the full picture of what that really feels like, or what you want to see in some of the more complicated ways that are just hard to see. So let me share with you two things that I found after a long time of that, kind of like the things that really opened up my eyes. So I'm kind of going to be sharing a story, or at least kind of some, what do you want to call it, experiences, ideas, thoughts that I guess came to me that really kind of opened that box up for me and said, hey, this is what gratitude really is, past the shallow level. Like, I'm kind of taking it one step further. So for everybody that's kind of like practices gratitude, thinks that they have it right, I'm going to just try to take that, we're going to go below the surface on that. And I'm going to go just a little bit further with it. So I'm not going to go over the shallow stuff. I think everybody gets that. I think everybody knows it. But what I'm saying is, for the other people that are like me, that really thought that they had it right, I'm going to kind of open that up and show you something else and kind of see it from a different way. So one of the ways that I had been kind of resisting true gratitude, full gratitude, not just like 95% right, got most of it right. I mean the full feeling of being in it and knowing what that really feels like. I'll give you my examples, and then you can kind of see how maybe you want to relook at some of the ones that you thought you understood or whatever. So one of them was the way that I was going to work and showing up to work, and how I was kind of always in this state of, whether or not I would say it this way or not, I was always looking at the future. I was always wanting something, right? I'm an ambitious person. Okay, I've been doing projects and creation and starting businesses, failing businesses, and just doing channels and failing channels and starting over a lot of times. So I'm ambitious. I'm always looking forward most of the time. I understand what presents mean and being here, but I also think that if you're going to create, you do need to think a little bit ahead. I mean, I think that that's a part of it. You don't forget where you are, and you accept where you are, but that's harder to do. And that's kind of what I'm getting into here. But the way that it really clicked for me was that I've been working towards my goals, and I wasn't satisfied with where I am now. Now, I would have said that shallowly. I may have said that in prayers, like, yes, I'm very grateful, and I have a lot of gratitude, And, I would say that, and I would feel that way mostly. But I just, there's kind of some things that were maybe holding me back, and this was one of them. It was me trying to work towards my goals. And I would go through these cycles of really wanting to be where I was visualizing where I was heading. I wanted to be there, and sometimes I'd get frustrated, and sometimes I want to rush ahead because I have big goals and dreams. And so the way that I see it, and I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight on that. I want to have a cottage next to a river, and I want it to be on this acre where I'm with my wife, my family, and I have kids, and I'm kind of just isolated somewhere a little bit. I mean, I want a town next to me and that kind of stuff. So I have this constant visualization of how I want my reality to look, and that keeps me fueled, and that keeps me driven. And it took me a long time to get there. I wasn't sure what kind of house I wanted. I wasn't sure if I even wanted a family. I wasn't sure if I cared about what the actual house looked like. Did I want something simple? Did it want to be Victorian? Did it need to be in a city outside? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that we all go through. But so once I got that kind of visualization, I started thinking, well, how do I get there? How do I do the things that I love doing? How do I talk about the things that I love doing? And you're kind of seeing the final, maybe not the final, but the most evolved point of that right now. So I had a job that was getting in between that. Do you know what I mean? Here's my goal down the road, and this is what I'm thinking about all the time, but I need to get there, right? So I need to be here now. And sometimes I'm okay with where I'm at right now, but then other times I'm not. I'm like, man, I really wish I was there already. Right? I'm working every day towards this goal. I'm trying hard. I'm finding new ways to do things. I'm thinking of opportunities that could potentially come. I'm looking for opportunities that could help me get there a little bit quicker. I'm looking for ways to be better at what I'm doing with my content creation. And all of these things, all kind of happening at once. And so I got to kind of a point where I realized that, and this would be like an on and off feeling, is that the job that I was doing was a blessing, but I didn't see it that way. I was like, man, I just want to be able to sustain myself with my content and create and do this for other people and make people happy and help people figure out where they may be getting stuck in life. The places that I wish people would have broken open into and given me the truths, the beliefs, and been real honest, but like did the hard work too. And I think so many people get lost, they sell out, they give up. I get it, because I've been on that road, and some people are still on that road, and that's the people I'm trying to reach and help, is to give you guys what I wish I had. So you can kind of see how it's like, that's what I want to do for a living. I want to do that all the time. That's where I get passion. That's where I get energy. That's what I enjoy doing. So that's what I want to do. And I had a different job that was a family-owned business, and I felt like that was more of an obligation than something that I should appreciate. That I have a job, that I have the opportunity to be able to make these videos and be able to schedule time around that. I overlooked that a lot. I said, hey, I even made myself shallowly. I was like, hey, I'm happy about these things, right? This seems to work for me. But I didn't feel it too. That's like that extra layer, like deep in your soul. It's like, do you really feel grateful for this? Are you really, do you really understand how good you have it? Or not even how good you have it, but just the fact that you're able to be alive and give this gift and do it in a way that not everybody gets an opportunity to. And it's like, I was missing that. Do you know what I'm saying? And to some people that are hearing this, they're like, oh, well, that sounds so obvious. How do you not see that way? How did it take you so long and everything to do that? It's hard when you're living that life. You're probably doing the same thing on stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to help you see, is that it may sound obvious when you hear somebody else explaining this to you, when they've had that aha moment, they're handing it to you and they're giving you that truth or that belief or that treasure that they found. It's easy to hear it when you're being told it. It's much harder for you to find those things that are holding you back. And I'm telling you, I have explored these thoughts before. I have thought about gratitude and being grateful and what that really looks like to me personally. And I missed the real depth of it. I mean, I've thought about everything I just explained in this video. I've thought about it, right? I mean, I've actually thought about it, but I never felt it. I never appreciated it. I never accepted it. I never seen it as like, man, this is one of the best opportunities you can have for what you're trying to build. And you're not there yet, and you want to be there, but you're not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean? This is like those reality checks we all need to keep ourselves. These are those reflections that we go through. For all my deep thinkers out there and the people that genuinely care and want to bring meaning into this world, you know, it's really hard. And I understand that because I have been there before. Now, let me go into, I believe, the second one. Let me just pause here for a second because I got to really think about this because I had two that came up at the same time. So I want to make sure I'm hitting it right for you guys so that we're not, kind of going off basis, because I think that first example was plenty good. But for others that maybe want to see another perspective, I know I had a second good one. But since we're doing this raw, I'm starting to lose it a little bit or lose the other second one. So give me a second. We're going to take just a quick break here. And I'm either going to wrap this one up if I think that's good enough, or I will go into that second example. So just give me a few moments here. We'll take some coffee. We'll appreciate the views a little bit here. I wish you guys could see what was looking out in the front video here, or the front of the out the windshield here. But yeah, just hang with me. Yeah, so let's do one more. I think I do remember what it was that I wanted to share with this one. So one of the other things that I have been, whether or not I realized it or not, ungrateful for was, or not grateful enough for, let me put it this way, or shallowly grateful, I guess is the best way to say it. Just wanting to be grateful for something that you recognize in your life as something that should be something that you be grateful for, but maybe you aren't because you want something else. Actually, I got two here, but I'll make these quick. The first one was the fact that I had these wants. And when you have these wants, meaning like you want a house, maybe you want, for me, I wanted a metal detector that I've had my eyes on for years. I wanted to get out there and do some metal detecting, just to get out in nature and just to do something, do a little treasure hunting, hit my sweet spot for exploration and just being out in nature, having a reason to, and just kind of enjoying it in different ways. I wanted a kayak, and a nice kayak. One that's kind of for like fishing, so I can get out there with my friends that do it all the time. And it's like I've been sacrificing so much to do this channel and to do many other projects that I've done in the past, as well as building myself up, my voice and all that kind of stuff, that I've been wanting a lot of stuff for a while. And when you're in a state of constant want and that you're driven towards those wants, they can make you a bit ungrateful. In a sense. Now, I don't know if I'm using the proper words here, but I need you to understand that you're kind of holding yourself back from appreciating what you do have. When you're in a state of wanting something, just like my house and my car and that perfect family and, wanting that cottage out and wherever, these are all wants, okay? These are things that you're looking forward to. These are things that you're working towards. There's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with that. I'm not saying that one day you won't get those, but when they are constantly on your mind and you're like, man, I can't really wait for that. And I mean, like, not only just in the figurative sense, like, oh man, I can't wait, but like also in the, man, I can't wait for that. Like, I cannot wait. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff that will keep you in a state of not being grateful. Now, I'm not saying that that makes you an ungrateful person, but I'm saying that's the kind of stuff that will keep you from being grateful because you're too busy looking forward. And that's a problem for being in a state of grateful or gratitude and really appreciating what you do have. And I know we've all heard the quotes before. Do you know what I mean? Like, be present, appreciate the things that you have right now. We've all heard these things. I'm simply giving you that expanded lens that will help you realize what that really means and what that looks like as far as being a human now. Not just that old Greek philosopher or that old Chinese proverb. Do you know what I mean? Because that has been polished over time and it loses the real essence of it. Like, what does that really look like for us today? And that's what I'm trying to give you with this kind of video. And so I think that that does a pretty good job of explaining how I feel about gratitude and what it really means to be grateful for what you have. And guys, anybody that's listening to this, hang in there. I know how hard that might be for some people to really figure that out for yourself, to really look at your own life, do another checklist and kind of go through the motions and figure out where you kind of feel like you're lacking and then trying to become grateful for the things that you have. It's not easy. I think people just make it sound so easy, and I think that they get really close to a full-bodied definition and embodying that and being in a state of being grateful, but it takes work. You might solve one of those that I just mentioned in your own way that's specific to your situation, but then you might have 10 others that are kind of there that you don't realize or that are much harder to do because you're too busy being driven, trying to get there, and it's all you want to think about. And I get that, right? I'm not suggesting that you don't. I think it's good to have a creative mind. I think it's good to have goals. I think it's good to have wants, that you kind of have something that keeps you going and driven. But I think you also need to balance that with what real gratitude really means. And I know that sounds hard, right? It's easy when you can just stay focused and clarity on one thing, but you got to work on balancing that. You got to work on trying to make it that you're happy with what you do have right now and you're still looking forward a little bit, but don't let one or the other overpower that. Actually, I think you kind of want the grateful or the gratitude to probably overpower anything else. You don't want that, you don't want the stuff that you're looking forward to or the stuff that you want down the road or your goals and all that stuff. You don't want that to overpower your thoughts, because then you're always looking at that and you're not appreciating what's in front of you right now. Everything that's in front of you right now, including just the ability to be alive and to be here and to be a human being and to experience this world and everything in it and the people in it. So don't forget about that kind of stuff too. In fact, I think that that's even more important. That's what's big about it. But it also says, hey, that doesn't need to be a fixture. That doesn't need to be the ultimate only thing that you think about. You're allowed to look ahead. Just don't get consumed in that. That's what I got for you guys today. I hope that this has brought you guys some value. I appreciate anybody that stayed around and listened to all this. Give me a like and a subscribe. Give me a comment too. What are some of the things that you're grateful for? And maybe tell me some of the things that maybe you're lacking, or if this helped you see something differently. Let me know what that is in the comments. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for staying tuned. I'll catch you guys on the next one.